So one of the questions that I get asked pretty often is what AI tools should I use and where do I even start with AI? And the thing is that there's so many out there, and what we're dealing with is not a scarcity of tools. On the contrary, we are constantly bombarded with AI powered this, AI powered that, and it can get quite overwhelming. So I wanted to take a second and give you my top 5 AI tools that I use, and I wanted to give you guys sort of the how I use them and for what I use them. So the first one that I use on a regular basis is Claude by Anthropic. So Claude by Anthropic is what I use as a code assistant. I personally do not have a computer science background. I do not know how to code, but one of the things that artificial intelligence allows you to do is use natural language to express what it is that you're trying to render, and it can translate from natural language to computer code, which is a game changer. And I cannot stress this enough. Like, it is an absolute game changer when it comes to innovation, ingenuity, and the ability to build things that you otherwise would not have built. It has dramatically reduced the barrier to entry when it comes to technology, technological innovation, and being able to build. So highly, highly recommend if there's even just a slight bit of curiosity that you may have in regards to building some type of software, to building some type of website. It doesn't have to be anything complex. Just give it a shot. Claude Code by Anthropic, fantastic tool. The other one that I do use ChatGPT. I use it primarily for exploring different ideas. There's so many projects that I have in my mind, and your bandwidth gets spread so thin that you really try to organize yourself and kind of figure out, okay, like how should I approach this problem, or how should I approach this idea, or if I wanted to undertake this project, like what exactly would be the prerequisites? What do I need to do? What do I need to build? How do I start? And ChatGPT has been fantastic in that regard. So when it comes to like back and forth conversation and just brainstorming, ChatGPT has absolutely been my go-to. So ChatGPT was actually one of the first tools that I ever used. So when I started my company, one of the things that I would do is I would take a screenshot and with regards to some of the forms and all this other documentation, and I would just ask it, hey, can you please explain this to me? Like, what is it? What am I looking at? And it was a phenomenal tool. Why? Because dealing with so much legal jargon that sometimes it's very difficult to actually like interpret what it is that you're reading and what it is that they're asking, or how to best answer it given what you know. And so when it came to, again, just having that back and forth sort of discussion, it was a phenomenal tool. The other tool that I use is Perplexity. So Perplexity has been wonderful with regards to deep research, and Perplexity offers another tool with it integrated in their systems called Lab. So with Perplexity Deep Research, which a lot of other AI tools have, Perplexity's Deep Research is great in that it actually cites a lot of the sources, which is great, but it gives you a very, very, very thorough analysis about anything that you're asking. So you can ask significantly more complex questions. And frankly, I would encourage you to use the deep reasoning models specifically for the more complex questions. Complex is a relative term. So give it a try. And then it also offers, like I mentioned, it offers labs. So labs is great because it actually gives you product. So it gives you visuals, it gives you documents, it gives you code, it gives you apps that you can immediately launch, websites that you can immediately launch to actually like play with the ideas and toy and tinker with some of the with some of the things that you're potentially trying to develop or trying to build. It gives you a fantastic place to start. Great for prototyping. So highly encourage folks to use that. Perplexity also builds Comet. Comet is the web browser that they've introduced, and I cannot stress this enough. Your web browser is not going to look the same here in the next 5 months. I give it about 5 or 6 months. No one's web browser is going to lack AI capability or AI tools. And I would argue that Perplexity was the one that really changed the game on that. Perplexity's Comet is fantastic for when it comes to interacting with your sites as you go through them. So, for example, I'll sit there on AWS, on Amazon Web Services, and I'll be building something or trying to put something together, or I'll be going through one of their skill builder labs to kind of to continue to sort of develop my knowledge of Amazon services and some of the things that they have to offer. And when I find myself in a position where I genuinely don't know the answer, or I don't know exactly how to put something together, you just hop on the Perplexity Assistant, and you just ask, you just simply with natural language, like, hey, how exactly does Amazon Macy work? Is that a machine learning capability? Is that a machine learning service, or what exactly is it? Or you can ask it literally whatever you want. I have a friend of mine who's actively working towards taking her LSAT, and she uses Perplexity's Comet to ask LSAT questions. So I mean, it's a fantastic like study buddy that you could have immediately there next to you, and it can also integrate with your emails. You can ask it to send emails for you. You can ask it to do all sorts of things. The other cool thing about Perplexity's Comet is that you once you use it for an extended period of time, it'll have enough knowledge about what you do on a regular basis where it can actually make recommendations for you, which is fantastic. Especially when your workflows get more and more complex, it'll learn from what you're actively doing and it can make recommendations, solid recommendations, especially the more you use it. And they just recently launched a far more direct integration with your emails to really enhance that workflow and to take some of that that mundane sort of work aspects, some of the more mundane factors in work away from the user. Gemini is fantastic when it comes to keeping context so that you can basically keep the same character and just change the environment, which is a game changer when it comes to creating consistency in your branding. Consistency is something that had not really been maintained quite yet because it is very difficult to actually do. But Gemini makes a fantastic product when it comes to that. The other tool that I'm actually really excited to start using a lot more now that they've actually come out with some pretty decent upgrades is Notion. So Notion is great for when it comes to your daily workflows and kind of organizing yourself. And I think one of the things that they're really trying to do is sort of create this sort of like startup in a box kind of thing, because there's not a single aspect of daily work organization and functionality that you can't find on Notion. Everything from databases to, like I said, single web pages to tracking to planning to calendars, whatever it is that you need to do when it comes to organizing yourself and organizing the day or events or projects. Notion is fantastic. So now they have an integrated AI that will actually help facilitate that even further. And I would say last but not least, the other one that I use a lot is 11 Labs. So 11 Labs is excellent for voice rendering. So yeah, my top 5, I would say Claude Code by Anthropic. ChatGPT is a must by OpenAI. Perplexity is great, specifically their browser. Comet by Perplexity is fantastic. Notion AI for your regular workflow. Gemini is excellent with regards to creative work. And I guess my sixth one, my bonus one that I gave is 11 Labs. 11 Labs is excellent for audio rendering. So if you guys get an opportunity to give those a try, please let me know what you think. If you've already given those a try, let me know what your top ones are. Like, what are your favorites? So I would love to hear what you guys think in regards to that. If you guys have any other ideas of AI platforms that I should try or AI tools that I should try, please leave them in the comments below. But if I had to give you one place to start, just one place, one thing to try, is definitely find a tool that you would feel comfortable using to start translating your ideas into computer code. That might sound a little bit challenging or daunting at first. That might sound kind of nerdy even at first. But I promise you that once you actually see your idea rendered in real life, it is a game changer. So definitely give it a shot, give it a try. Let me know what y'all think. I'll see you on the next one.